Man, we look again, it talks about in Matthew 5:5, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the meek. What are the meek? What is that? And here's the thing, when they translate it, what it really comes across is gentle. Comes across as gentle. And that's an interesting concept because in our world, usually it's the loudest and the most bombastic, and they're the ones that take over the world, right? The most cutthroat, the most ruthless. Man, I was thinking about this. This is an interesting example. I was thinking about this, came across a news feed the other day, and I share it with you. Man, I think about Mother Teresa. When we think about Mother Teresa, man, you think about her, she's like, oh man, she's so good. She did all this work for all these people. And that's true, man. She did. She's awesome. She's awesome. In fact, we were in Macedonia with a family a few years ago, and we were hanging out, and they had this statue of Mother Teresa because she's actually Albanian who has grown up in Macedonia before going to India and serving for all those years. So they actually, everywhere you go, they have all these things. And this is what it looks like, the statue that's there. It's a really, really nice little place. And I was thinking about her and thinking about her tenacity, but really meekness is strength with restraint. Strength with restraint. People talk about her and they say, actually, if you talk to Mother Teresa, she'll get up in your business because she's living a life that you're not living. She's living for the unwanted, for the low, for the downcast, for the street kid and the orphan. That's who she's living for. So if you're living for anything that's for yourself, she has you. And she would talk to the world leaders and get up at the UN and just bah! And they're fighting over all this stuff, and she's just leveling people because she can, because she was living it for real. And it wasn't I'm better than you. No, she was challenging them to step up in what they're supposed to do. And see, that's where this meekness comes in an interesting way because it is strength with restraint. It's one of those things where you have to be strong in character to be one to withstand people barraging you and you not attack back. You have to have strength. You have to be one who's willing to follow Jesus when he says, follow me, and you get up and do it. There's strength that's there. But there's a gentleness as well. It talks about in scripture in Mark 8, it says this, for whoever will save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and in the gospels will save it. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? See, we can gain all the things that we were talking about earlier in the story, but we can easily lose our soul because we don't put Christ first. This last semester of life groups, we had this book by Pastor Craig Rochelle from Life Church called Winning the War in Your Mind. And a number of us that were in that group, man, it was such a great catalyst to think about things differently. He was talking about retraining our minds and using the power of the gospel to speak over us and break those habits and those wrong ways of thinking out of our life. Because what happens is we think that we have to do this and this and this or get even. And he's saying, no, break that stuff out of your life, man, and live a successful life, a triumphant life. And I was challenged, man. I was like, this is good. This is good stuff. It breaks down to the battle belongs to the Lord. And we sing that often, the battle belongs to the Lord, because that's the words that are there in the scripture, is that he's the one that's fighting on our behalf. Think about people like David, who took all sorts of people down as a warrior and as a king and as a general. And he was the one in the Psalms that's pleading to God to fight on his behalf. Because he knows it wasn't just his strength that was the one that won the battle. It was the Lord working in front of him and through him to win. That's a physical battle, and we're called to be those who fight in the Spirit. So let us be those who fight in the Spirit, because the battle belongs to the Lord. The meek shall inherit the earth. Let's say this phrase again together. I am blessed.